Good morning, friends. Stephen Talbot here, and today is Tuesday, October 31st, 2017. You know what that means? It's freaking Halloween. I love Halloween. Don't you guys love Halloween? So, I just have been on a wonderful jog. It's a crisp morning. It feels great out here. It's actually warming up pretty quickly. It's a beautiful day. It's the perfect Halloween day, if you ask me. So, I actually you guys know I love me a podcast. So I just started listening to a new podcast. It's called, This Is Actually Happening. That's the name of the podcast. This Is Actually Happening. And, the episode that I just listened to is called, What If You Went to the Dark Side, or something like that. And, I will absolutely link to it in the description below. It's like 45 minutes or so. It's about this guy. I don't remember his name. Basically, it's about this guy who grew up in a really ritzy New York Hamptons address. Parents were absent. He grew up with a governess, which is like someone who's hired to raise somebody's kids, basically. The parents and the children lived on separate floors. This guy had two sisters. They never really saw their parents. As they got older, the governess became very abusive, would slap them and lock them in their rooms with no food. Anyway, he sort of had a household with very little, or maybe none, no love at all. And I've always said, for a long time now, something I realized quite young is the fact that, as a kid, sometimes you grow up with people who you think have it all. These people, I've talked about it in previous videos, they might, they're the kid that gets the brand new Range Rover when they turn 16. They're the kid that gets picked up, every day in a flashy car by their governess or their parents. They're the kid who invites you to their birthday party, and you realize for the first time that there's unimaginable wealth, being a young kid. I remember the first time I went to, it was actually a guy from church that I went to, really ritzy church, actually. And they had a thing where they turned their backyard. We had all these cardboard boxes, and we got to build these forts. And then we had socks full of powder, and it was so much fun. What kid doesn't like to build forts, right? And so there was probably a dozen or so kids, and there was food and campfires and marshmallows and hay rides, all in the backyard of this house. Gorgeous house. I can remember it to this day. The dad was an architect, and I'm sort of getting off track here, I guess. But I just remember going in and being like, whoa, this is insane. I grew up in Section 8 government housing. I grew up in the projects when I was younger. And then when I became a little bit older, I actually was adopted by my aunt, which I've also talked about before. But my earliest childhood memories are definitely of living in the projects that are actually close to where I'm at right now. I'm in Shelby Bottoms Park. And we grew up in the Shelby projects. We had concrete floors. I don't necessarily remember being scared. I don't remember feeling like I was without anything. But anyway, my point is that going and experiencing and seeing, growing up, I saw the kids with the nice shoes. I had BB buddies. I saw the kids with the nice shoes, but I really didn't, I guess I wasn't old enough to really understand. And when I just remember walking into this house and being like, gosh, this is so, I remember feeling jealous at that point. Maybe it was the first moment in my life that I experienced jealousy, I think. Or is it envy? Whatever it is. Now, of course, I'm grown, and I don't really experience that anymore. And this is sort of what I'm getting to. So this guy's telling his story, and he had everything material wise, and so many of us live our lives chasing these dreams, chasing the material things, chasing the bigger house, chasing the nicer car. And at the end of the day, what is it for? He talks about how he had everything that he needed on a materialistic level, on a man-made level, but what he was lacking, it was the most important thing. He was lacking love. He was lacking just love, man. He was lacking love. He didn't have love. He didn't have any attention. He didn't have touch. He started drinking when he was 12 years old as a result of this. And even though he had a lot of money, and he was able to he spent in his entire young adult up into his 30s chasing. He didn't know what he was chasing, and as he tells his story, he sort of alludes to the fact that in the end he learned that what he was chasing was inside of him all along. And he talked about how he got involved in meditating, but the journey to get to that point was interesting because he was constantly seeing therapists. He was constantly going on these retreats and doing all these massive amounts of drugs, and doing ayahuasca and doing massive amounts of mushrooms and ketamine and MDMA and all of this stuff, chasing this next profound experience, as he called it. And in the end, everything that he was looking for, all those years that he spent chasing, all the years he spent just, waking up in the hospital with handcuffed to the hospital bed. And I'm going to leave the link, like I said, for you guys. You can listen to it and hear the guy's story yourself. But it just brings home and sort of confirms what the profound realization that I've come to in my own life in the past 6 months or so. And it's the same thing. It's like, we can chase these material things, and money makes things easier. Money makes the world go round. I get that. But at what point do we evolve as a culture and evolve as the human race to where, all that stuff is just meaningless? And it really is meaningless at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I don't think that you're ever going to hear somebody on their deathbed saying that they wish they had a nicer car, or that they really wish they would have gotten that job so they could get that big house. I think that what you're going to find, people living with regrets, when their time has come to an end, is the fact that they didn't spend enough time with their family. They didn't connect with their long lost family. They didn't spend enough time with their kids and their grandkids. They didn't have kids. They didn't, I don't know. It just hearing this story and on this podcast, it just moved me, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. It just made me, realize that everything that we look for, everything that we're chasing, is already right here in front of us. And it also reminds me of being in Mexico a few years ago with my friend Adam and my brother and my friend Anton, and who am I forgetting? Was it just us? I feel like there was somebody else. Anyway, I had a profound experience there on ketamine, actually, and I just remember my brother saying the whole time, and this is before I ever meditated a day in my life, I had heard about meditation, but I didn't quite understand what it was, and I knew that some people sit Indian style, and some people go, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand that it's so powerful, but it's nothing. It's nothing in the sense of it's just so simple. You don't need anything to do it. You just breathe, and you just focus on your breathing, and you there's all sorts of different ways to meditate. And I also link to the app that I'm always talking about called Aware. Anyway, and sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, I know. But in Mexico, I remember my brother saying over and over again, self, 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 self. And I was like, we joke about it now, but at the time I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Why does he keep saying that to me? It was making me crazy because, we're having this out of body experience, and, it's just I don't know, it just made me crazy because I'm like, self, tell me, explain it to me. But he couldn't have possibly explained it to me because I wouldn't have understood, because I wasn't at the point in my life where I could receive that information, or I wasn't even open-minded. As open-minded as I thought that I wasn't open-minded enough to experience what he was talking about. And now I look back and think, oh, duh. sort of hard to explain to people. I mean, I guess I just try to put it into the best, or I just try to explain it to you the best way that I know how. But yeah, so that's sort of my message today, as on this lovely Halloween day. Anyways, I hope that you guys have an awesome Halloween, whether you're going to be staying at home and greeting trick-or-treaters with their goodies, going out to a party, or just chilling at home with some candles lit and all the lights off. I hope that you guys have an awesome Halloween. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing tonight, but I'm sure I will be doing something, and I will definitely video it and share it with you guys. So, as always, thank you guys so much for checking me out on my channel. I hate saying that. My channel. Yeah, thanks for checking out my videos. I really, really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I love you. Please share it with your family, your friends, or anyone you think that might benefit or by what I have to say, or somebody wants to be a part of a group of like-minded people who are ready to change the world and change themselves for the better. If you like this particular video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, or if you think I'm cute, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, enjoy yourself. Happy Halloween!